Good morning everyone. It's Friday, September 30th. I can't believe October is almost here and it's the perfect time to be making these fall leaves. In my previous tutorial, I showed you how to crochet these leaves and now we're going to be turning them into coasters. And it's super easy. All we're going to be doing is adding a felt bottom to them if you want to. I have ruined my coffee table by putting hot things on it. So for me, this is a must. If not, you can just leave them crocheted as they are. Another thing I'm going to show you is, I'm not sure on this if you can actually see where I've touched the leaf with the glue and there's little white parts. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to fix that. I've got my piece of felt here and all I'm going to do is lay my leaf on top, make sure it's nice and flat, and I'm going to trace it with a permanent marker. We're not going to go right up against the edge of the leaf because we don't want to leave marks on our nice crocheted leaf by accident. So I'm just going to trace a little bit on the outside. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And then what we're going to do when we're cutting the leaf out is we're actually going to cut about 1/4 of an inch away from the line we just traced. The reason we're going to do that is if you line up the felt exactly in line with the edge of the leaf that we just crocheted, I find when you stack them, they actually look kind of messy. So I like the look of when the felt is just a little bit in from the edge, and then that way when they're stacked and you're storing them, or if you put a little bow around them and decide to give them to somebody, they look nice and clean. Oops, see how clean that looks? So all we're going to do is just cut around the edge about 1/4 of an inch around. Almost done. Good. And there you can see from the piece that is left over where there's roughly 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then what I like to do is just flip my leaf over. Oops. And I'm going to lay that on top before I glue it, because what I want to check before I glue is if there's any edges that are hanging over. And here you can see that this edge is hanging over, and this one could just do with a little trim right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to cut this little bit here to make it nice and tidy. And let's try it again and see what happens. And as you can see, there is a wrong side and a right side to the leaf. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my speed sew. This is the glue I like to use when I'm working with my crochet items. I actually use it for hats when I'm doing faces. I like to glue the pieces into position before I sew them on. I just find it makes it so much easier, but you guys might have a different glue you want to use, which is fine. So all I'm going to do is apply it. I'm getting to the end here. Apply it to the leaf. All the way around. Okay, then I'm just going to spread it around with my fingers. This has a really strong smell to it actually, this glue. I don't mind it, but anybody who is sensitive to smells or has asthma, I've heard that things like this can irritate it. Alright, and there it is. Okay, and then what I like to do is get something heavy and I would leave that to dry for a few hours, and then I'll go back in and I'll do my final trim of any pieces hanging over. Here you can see where I've actually gotten some glue on the table and it's gotten on that. So I'm going to show you the green one. You can see I touched it with glue on my hands. You can simply go in with a pair of scissors and really carefully just cut those bits off, and be careful that you don't actually cut too deep into the yarn. But if you just move it with your finger, almost scrape it off, it's almost like when your sweaters pill. You can go through and cut them off, and that'll clean that up. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, give me a like below and I'll keep posting them because I'm actually really enjoying doing them. Take care everyone. Thanks again.